Hi there, it's Louise here of Timeless Craft Mama, and today I'm sharing a scrapbook layout process video for you for Scrapbook Boutique, and this is a layout created using the Simple Stories Life in Colour range. Now, I absolutely adored this range. As soon as I saw it, I knew that it was definitely on my must-have list. I just feel like the colours are so bright and they work with such a multitude of photos. So what I'm going through and doing is taking this sunray cutout that I've just cut with white on my Cricut machine, and I'm going to cut out and layer some of those pretty papers behind that sunray and use that as the basis for my page. Now, you'll notice that as I'm doing this, I do have a couple of little issues. The first one I cut was too small and I couldn't get it to stick, and then I tore my sunray. So this particular process video is a really good layout in how to fix a mistake. So because I couldn't get it to stick, I ended up just turning it over and taking some tape and just attaching it to that sunray. So as we progress, you'll notice that that's actually how I attach most of these particular pieces of paper that I'm cutting from this range of the Simple Stories papers. It's so versatile, this range. I really felt like as soon as I saw it, I knew it would be perfect for boys. Even though it's kind of got those little touches of pinks and some reds in there, I just really believed that I could make this work with pictures of my little men in my life, and especially in the case of this particular layout where I've used a black and white photo. So that really allows the colours of this page to shine through and to still be masculine enough that you can pop it into a boy's album or keep it for yourself. So, moving on to the final stages of cutting out these layers, and then I'm going to work on the background of this particular page. Now, sometimes it might feel like it's going to take a really long time to sort of cut these particular smaller pieces out, but it really does go a bit quicker than you think. You think it's going to take forever, but it's such an effective way to use papers, and it really doesn't take that long. So now that I'm happy with the way that background cluster is looking, I'm also going to take this stencil, and I'm going to use a Color mist through that stencil, and that's going to just add again a little bit more colour and some interest to that white background that I've got going on. Okay, moving on to attaching the Life in Colour ranges of paper, because I'm happy with how that's looking now. And although I'm going to cut some of it off, I think it's still quite effective with the yellow sun rays in the background, and just to sort of do something that's a little bit different to just spraying some mist through that. Alright. Okay, this is a 6x6 inch paper pad, and I wanted to add just a little bit more pattern and interest to the background, so I'm going to mount my photo on some of that black spotted paper and go through and just cut out a couple of little elements. I also felt like this range would be really good for pocket scrappers. So if you love to pocket scrap, there are so many little cutouts and sayings and interesting pieces that you could definitely use in pocket scrapping. Okay, I'm working on this layout and I'm thinking the left-hand side just doesn't quite match in with this page. So I'm going to go ahead and just rough cut a strip of that paper, and I've used the X's and O's because I think it's just a beautiful paper and it fits so well. Then I'm going to use some of the chipboard pieces and add some of the final touches to this particular layout. So I'm just having a look at them, and I'm thinking about what I want this page to look like and the story that I want to tell. So picked a couple of things out and then decided it was time to work on the building of this particular page. And while I was looking at it, I realized that I had this really stark corner up the back there, so I'm just going to again put some spray in there as well, just to help bring that into the page. Alright, so pretty much everything's looking exactly as I want it to be. I'm going to build a little bit more background now, and you'll have to excuse me here. I had a little bit of a disagreement with the what would you call it, the metallic cotton. It didn't want to come off the spool, and then when it did, it was kept breaking. So eventually I got it to where I wanted it to be, but it did take a little bit of maneuvering. So I'm just popping some of that in red behind a red heart, just to bring the colours of that red and the different images into this layout. A little bit of ink around the outside of that happy title, and I'm also going to mount that with some foam tape, just so that I can bring that up a little bit and not have it sitting so flat on the page. Now when I mount this, you'll notice that I've pulled the back off the adhesive, but I haven't actually pushed it hard down on the page. So the reason I did that was because I knew I wanted to pop a little bit more of that metallic cotton in behind that photo, and then I've stuck that down. And part of working on a video is that it's really easy to get your papers and elements not straight. So if it looks uneven, that's because I did have a little bit of an issue keeping things straight on this page. But you know what? I'm not the kind of person where I'm going to let it bother me. It's going into an album, and honestly, in 20 years' time when somebody is looking through these, I don't think anybody's really going to care that I stuck the page down just slightly unleveled. So that's just how I feel about it. Some people like to get things perfectly straight and make sure that they are just so. But for me, I felt that this particular page, it wasn't going to be it was probably going to be harder to actually straighten all those elements up than it was to just leave them slightly crooked. So all I'm doing now is just taking some of the sticker sheets from the collection. There's some clear stickers and there's just an ordinary sticker sheet. And I'm just going to layer some of those elements around this particular page. Tiny little chipboard piece in the bottom right hand corner. I had some of the wood veneers too that I was trying to make work, but honestly I just felt like it was too much in the end. So a few little extra touches, and I'm going to add some journaling to this particular page and be ready to pop him in an album all finished. I really had fun with this collection. I've got a couple more videos coming up that I'll share with you in the coming weeks. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel to be able to see my videos in the future. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're inspired to play along with the Life in Colour collection. I'm Louise of Timeless Craft Mama. Thanks for stopping by.